Hi, everybody. We're here today with Lauren Winterberg from Alleghany College of Maryland, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the school.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like Ms. Ernst said, my name is Lauren Winterberg, and I'm a college recruiter at Alleghany College of Maryland. Like I said, we're excited to have you today just to learn a little bit more about the school and to answer any initial questions that you would have just about ACM in general. So I'm going to go ahead and start the PowerPoint, and we'll kind of work our way from there. So as you can see that from this photo here, this is a picture of our main campus in Cumberland, Maryland. ACM actually has two campuses. We have one campus located in Everett, PA, and we have one in Cumberland, Maryland. We do have 4 additional education sites spread throughout Garrett County, Maryland, Somerset, PA, Cumberland, Maryland. We have a culinary cafe that's located downtown, as well as a site at the Bedford County Tech Center. ACM in general, just to kind of give you an overview of who we are a 2-year community college that actually offers on-campus. So that's what makes us really unique to students who are outside of our community and who are within, let's say, a 2 to 3, maybe even 4-hour radius. I always tell students that you get that 4-year college experience at a 2-year price, and it can prepare you to either transfer onto a 4-year university or start a career right out of college, excuse me. We have a wide array of programs. We're going to talk a little bit about that in just a second. And we have very small class sizes. So professors get to know you as a person. They genuinely do care about you. And they want to get to know you. They want to help you succeed. So that is our main goal here at ACM, is student success. And I don't say that lightly. So you might be thinking, why ACM? Why Alleghany College of Maryland? Why would I consider them? I talked a little bit about that 4-year experience at a 2-year cost. That's sort of like my go-to thing when I talk to students, because you do get to live on campus, but you do get to save money to prepare to transfer. Quality is obviously going to be the number. As a former college student, I always share my experience. You know, I went to a 4-year private school out of state. So out of state immediately made it more, and a private school as well. And it was a 4-year university. So my tuition and fees were very high. I came out with a ton of student loan debt, and I actually grew up in Allegheny County here in Cumberland, and could have had the opportunity to sort of start smart and save money and then transfer, but I didn't take that opportunity. So if I can share my experience with you about saving money, that's my I've already talked a little bit about the variety of academic programs. We do offer over 80 career transfer programs, as well as certificates and letters of recommendation. Sometimes students will do both at the same time. They'll do a career or transfer program as well as a certificate, just to kind of build their resume. Student-centered resources, we have a number of resources on campus specifically for you as a student, just to help you succeed and to let you know that someone is there to help you. You're not in it alone. On-campus housing, talked a little bit about that. I'm going to talk a little more about that later, detailed of what it looks like and what is featured. And then opportunities to get involved. As high school students, you know that being involved in sports or clubs is a big part of what makes you you in high school and your identity. So we want you to have that opportunity to continue into college. And we do have a number of organizations in sports here on campus. So affordability, I already talked a little bit about my experience, but just to kind of give you an overview, as students who live in Pennsylvania, even though we do have an Everett, PA campus, you would be considered out of state. So your tuition before financial aid and scholarships would be about $10,462. Again, that's just like your base price before anything that's going to help you save. That doesn't include, you guys wouldn't necessarily have to live on campus. If you went to the Bedford County campus, you could commute. You could even commute to the Cumberland campus. It's really just what's best for you. Housing tends to run about an additional $6,000 a year, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. 90% of our students receive financial assistance, so it is not unlikely, or it's rather likely that students will receive scholarship funds as well as financial aid funds to go to school. And again, that just prepares you to graduate and not be sort of stuck trying to dig yourself out of that hole. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with what that is, the free application for federal student aid. It's an application we encourage all high school seniors to fill out, or anyone in to college. The deadline, or the opening for that rather, is October 1st. That application opens October 1st, and we encourage students and families to fill that out as soon as possible. Fun fact, ACM's financial aid office will actually help you with the FAFSA even if you're not considering ACM. We just want you guys to be educated and to be prepared and to fill out that sort of overwhelming application. It does help you through the entire process, but it is overwhelming as a whole. And I know even for my parents, it's something that they dreaded filling out every year, but it is important because it helps you to get funding to go to school. Scholarships, ACM actually offers over 2,500 scholarships that students can apply for. Each student usually gets up to about $2,500 in scholarship money, but for our PA students, a lot of times they're eligible for PA subsidy money that our Maryland students, so there are additional funding opportunities available through that. Our scholarships tend to total over $1 million, sometimes a little over $1 million. We try our best to work with our friends, our communities, our donors to try to get you guys the funding to help you be prepared. That application for seniors actually opens November 1st. We really encourage you to fill that out because we have deadlines at the end of each month, beginning in January of 2021, all the way up through May. And then we have a deadline of July 15th and August 15th. So the sooner you apply, the more you're eligible for, because that one application automatically applies you to all of those scholarships that you're eligible for. And it's actually very simple to fill out, and you can always start it and go back to it. And last but not least, additional discounted tuition programs. I already talked about the PA subsidy monies. And like I said, state by state, students are eligible for different types of monies. So Start Smart Save Money, this is a new piece that we came up with this year to kind of show you guys a visual of what your savings could look like. So if you look at this chart here, we've sort of, we've worked with a number of sources to come up with these statistics. So if you decided to attend ACM, you're an out-of-state student because you're a PA student, and you decided to live on campus, this includes housing costs. You would pay theoretically, just an average of about $32,924. Now you can see if you attended a 4-year public school in PA, it would be significantly more than that, and then even more if you chose to go out of state. And then again, that private university is always going to be more expensive. So I'm the type of person who's a visual learner, so I always like to tell students that any type of visual aid we can provide is always helpful. So I like to make sure that you guys have that opportunity to see it as well. Talked a little bit about a variety of academic programs. Students come to ACM knowing they want to transfer to a 4-year school. They want to get those credits out of the way to be able to begin their 4-year education, or for some, they want to go on farther. Career programs, those tend to prepare you for a job right away. Some students do choose to transfer on. For example, our nursing program is a career program, but some students want to continue on for their BSN, their bachelor's in nursing. So they will decide to start at ACM and then transfer, or sometimes take classes at the same time. And we have a partnership with Frostburg State University that allows students to do that. Certificates, again, 1 semester or 1-year programs, and then letters of recognition, which tend to be made up of 1 to even a few classes. But again, that builds your resume each time you take one of those. Like I said, career make job placement easier than you think. We don't have a specific job center to help you, find a job after graduation, but our professors and a number of our programs get calls all the time from potential employers and even former ACM students, alumni, who are looking for students just like you to get started in the workforce. And then last year alone, we had students transfer to over 61 different colleges in 20 different states. So you're not limited just because you're starting in a community college. So this kind of gives you an overview of the programs that we offer. This is a sort of a snapshot of the inside of our general view book. You can see here our transfer programs. These are our career programs that lead up into the top here. Thirdly would be our certificate programs, and then our letters of recognition. And as many of you guys know, especially seniors that have just started their year, or juniors who are looking into the possibilities for the future, in your senior year, you are eligible to take early college classes, which are college classes that you take while in high school, but at a reduced cost. So depending upon what classes you would want to take, depending upon what campus they would be through. There could potentially be additional funding for that. Our Bedford County campus has actually received a partnership, has a partnership and has received a donation to help students with their early college funding beginning this year and into the future. So we're really excited about that. And then here, this is our Bedford County campus, the program specifically for that campus. We do to start there with their general education classes and then decide to come to the Cumberland campus to continue their program. But we do have students who graduate from the Bedford County campus. So this just kind of gives you an overview of the program specifically offered at our Bedford County campus. But like I said, you can start there and come to the Cumberland campus. You can come directly to the Cumberland campus. Our goal is to do whatever we can to make you as successful as possible and to make this as simple as possible for you. So any questions, we're always here to answer them. Talked a little bit earlier about student-centered resources. We have so many places on campus for you to go and to get help. As a former college student, I really encourage you to utilize these resources. When I was in college, I thought that it was my job to figure all this out on my own, and that's what being an adult meant, which was fine, except I wound up graduating with a couple of classes with grades in a couple of classes that could have been better had I asked. So every time I give a campus tour, every time I talk to students at a high school, I can't push these resources enough because they're free, they're included with your tuition and fees, I should say, and people are here to help you as best they can. And in this environment, we also are offering resources virtually. So we're here to help you no matter what. So the Advising Center, just general overview, that's where you go to sort of pick your classes your first semester and to plan out what the rest of your time at ACM will look like. And they will also advise you on transferring and planning for a career. If you know where you want to transfer, it is always good to mention that ahead of time. That is one of the first mention, or even if you have an idea, because it allows the academic advisor to take a step back, look at all of the classes that you need to take for your major, and then try to align them as best they can with that four-year university or college. Each one's a little bit different, so it's always helpful to have that information ahead of time. Student success resources, services. We have a reading and writing center we call the ROC, R-A-W-C. We have a math study lab, a science study lab, and computer science study labs. So some of the people working in these labs are students or former students who've graduated or specialists who specialize in these particular fields. So any type of help you. The Reading and Writing Center helps students brainstorm and outline papers, walk through them after they've completed the process to make any changes that they need, and sort of how to read at a college level. And I know that kind of may sound crazy, but when your professor gives you 80 pages to read and it needs to be done before the next class along with an assignment on top of your other 3 classes, you sort of need someone to kind of help you break down how you're going to do that and how you're going to plan with everything else that you may have going on. Pathways for Success, TRIO, that is an assistance program for students that is completely free. It's grant funded through the state of Maryland, the federal government. Students are able to come into that program if they are a first-generation college student, which means that both or at least one of their parents doesn't have a bachelor's degree. They can have an associate's degree, but not a bachelor's degree. Or they have a documented disability, or they meet the financial need. So each student's financial need is different. So we always encourage students, even if they don't know if they are eligible for the program, to apply. It's free. They take 140 students every year, and they do everything from peer mentoring to additional academic advising, one-on-one tutoring, trips to institutions, and they sort of just a family basis for students here on campus. It's really a supportive program and just like a family, just to help students succeed. And I can't tell you, they've had so many success stories from students who started off sort of in a bad place, thinking they could do everything on their own, or just overwhelmed with the college process. And then those students have come in and they've sort of completely changed their college route, their career plans, and they got the assistance they needed and support to kind of get them on their educational journey. On-campus housing, we talked a little bit about that earlier. We call it Willowbrook Woods. It is actually located on campus, just across the street at the top of campus and up a driveway. It consists of 5 buildings. where students live, a security office where you check in, as you can see in this photo. Every time you come in, you show your ID, and then they open the gate and you pull through. Visitors are allowed, but they have to be announced ahead of time with the security office. Right now, we're not allowing visitors, obviously, because of the current circumstances, but generally that is something that is offered. There's also a clubhouse right behind the security office, which is the main building up there. Students' mailboxes are located there. The laundry room is located there. There's a study space and a TV just kind of for students to hang out. Vending machines, a refrigerator, a microwave, and then the office of our 2 area coordinators who are staff members who are there for anything and everything that you might need that would sort of be out of the ordinary. So something goes wrong with your apartment, you talk to your student resident advisor who oversees your building, and they talk with the area coordinator. If there's an emergency, they're there to help. They are there as extra support and to be available if any emergencies would arise, although security is on campus 24/7. Apartment style living, so you have a full kitchen, even with a dishwasher, a living room, a small porch, 4 individual bedrooms, and 2 bathrooms. So students really get that upperclassmen 4-year college experience at, like I said, that 2-year cost. And fun fact, we are one of only 2 community colleges in the state of Maryland that offers on-campus housing. It's very rare among community colleges, but as you go up and down the East Coast, you'll find that there are more. They're just kind of spread out. Free parking for every student on campus, whether they live on campus or not. Free laundry, no quarters required. Your parents may tell you stories or siblings of going to college and having to use quarters. And free Wi-Fi. Now, some students choose to get their own Wi-Fi in addition to what's offered through the college just because of speed, especially for gaming. That's entirely your decision, and you could talk with the area coordinators about who to contact, but it is provided through the college. And then Willowbrook Woods accommodates up to 228. Right now, we are at half capacity just because of spreading students out with the current circumstances. Generally, we do offer rooms for up to 228 students. And you can choose to live with a friend if you know of someone who wants to come to ACM and wants to live on campus. You both just have to list each other on your application. The other thing is Willowbrook Woods has a separate application. It is not a part of the admissions application. So once you apply to ACM, sort of go through the student checklist, one of the items on the checklist is to apply for housing if interested. Coming towards the end here, ways to get involved. Like I said, we have a number of student clubs and organizations, over 30. Some of our newer and actually more active clubs tend to be Student Government Association. We have a choir. We have a new cheerleading club that just started about a year ago. And we also have Phi Theta Kappa. You can see some of our members up in the top photo are a part of student government as well as Phi Theta Kappa, which is a community college honor society that students join if they're eligible and they're interested. And it looks really good on a resume and a college application if you decide to transfer. They are very involved on campus, statewide, and nationally. And then athletics, we have 8 teams on campus: baseball, softball, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's cross country, men's soccer, and volleyball. So our cross country team actually travels together to compete, but they are considered 2 separate teams. Our basketball teams are 2 separate teams. And men's soccer, we don't currently offer women's soccer just because we haven't had as much interest. But if we do decide to continue to offer an additional sport, that will be the next on the list. So because we don't offer a sport for female students, the men's soccer team is permitted to have female students on the team. And the last couple of years, we have had several female students play as a part of the men's soccer team. We recently installed a new softball field. We've never had one on campus before, so we're excited for students to have the opportunity to utilize that. We have a baseball field on campus. Obviously our gym for basketball, cross country. We do have I say 1 mile track, that's more for track, but we do have land that surrounds the college and outside of the college where our students do train for their for cross country. And then we do have a soccer field that was recently have new goals, new bleachers, and new scoreboard. And then our volleyball students do play in the gymnasium, which was also recently redone. So kind of thinking moving forward, what's next? How can I sort of learn more about ACM, get involved? We kind of came up with this acronym this year, Think PAC. When it comes to thinking about ACM, personability, affordability, and quality in terms of education and the people that you will meet. I tell students all the time, it sounds super cheesy, but we really are all about you. We're about student success. We are about helping you get involved, prepare yourself for the future. I haven't met one faculty or staff member on campus, and I've been here over 3 years, who isn't here for the students first and foremost. Yes, it is our job, but we're here for you guys. And we start every all college staff meeting by reminding ourselves why we're here, and it is for you. ACM is a really great place to start an undergraduate education. Sometimes students tend to pass community colleges just because college, it's local, but when it comes to saving money, it is really important to consider your options, and that's all we ask. We may not be the right place for you, but we want your options. And then in terms of getting more information, we have a couple websites that you can visit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on those websites. Just make sure they pop up here. The first one is our Future Students page. So this is where all of our students go. It's a one-stop shop for all their, this is our ACM website. You can see future students over here. Scrolling down, just kind of keep you up to date with key dates. You can contact our coordinator of student recruitment for any general questions. We're also here as recruiters to answer your questions. You can visit us by clicking on our virtual tour. Get apply. We have an application button not only here, but in the search bar. You can complete the admissions application. Off to the side, apply now. It's free. It takes 10 to 15 minutes, and the only thing you really need to know that you may not know offhand at this point is your social security number, because the admissions application cannot be saved and you can't go back to it. But if you have questions for us as recruiters, you can scroll on the Meet a Recruiter page, which is also in the PowerPoint, one of the options I was gonna click on here. Let me just move my toolbar out of the way. Click on Meet a Recruiter. You can see our team here. If you want to schedule a one-on-one virtual appointment with any questions, you can email Sue Rowan, our coordinator of student recruitment, or you can scroll down and find Sean Arijema, who is our other college recruiter, as well as myself. And our email addresses are listed here, as well as our college texting numbers to answer any questions that you have. Last but not least, we talked about the admissions application, getting more information. That's another our website that is available almost everywhere. It's basically allegheny.edu/information, but I'm going to take us back to our home page just so you can see. Again, if you click over here on the side toolbar and you click Get More Information, it will bring up our online inquiry card. If you fill this out, you'll also receive information in the mail. You can also contact us in order to receive information, which you'll see here on our Future Students page, which again, I said is sort of a one-stop shop for you guys. If you scroll down, there's another Get Info button here. So we really encourage you as students to get involved. If you're interested in learning more, you're not tied down to anything, you're not locked in. We just want you to know that the sooner you start, the easier the process will be in sort of going through the entire checklist. So I thank you guys for joining us today. If you have any more questions, please feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Lauren Winterberg, and I'm a college recruiter at ACM. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Lauren. I actually don't have any questions for you, so thank you very much.
Really? Okay. No problem at all. Well, if students do have questions or you would have questions, just like I said, let me know. I'd be more than willing to answer them. Sometimes students do have questions at 2 o'clock in the morning and they'll text us. So I always tell them just wait till the next day and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
No problem.